Hey everyone, it's Karen. Welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, welcome. I am happy to have you. In today's video, we are going to be recapping my budget for the last 2 weeks and preparing my budget for the next 2 weeks. So if you are interested in that, I hope you'll stay tuned. Alright you guys, so real quick, let's go to my last budget. And that was for January 24th through February 6th, which is the day before my payday. So I'm getting paid on Friday the 7th. Today's actually the 6th. So this budget sheet goes through today. For those of you who are new here, I get paid every other Friday, so I budget per paycheck, so I'm budgeting every 2 weeks. I only budget my income. I don't budget my husband's income, so there may be things in my budget that you don't see, either because that bill is not due within the next 2 weeks or that bill is not paid out of my income. So I just want to put that out there. Since I budget per paycheck, I pretty much know what my income and what my bills are. The only thing that fluctuates is this section right here, which is my section for my bi-weekly expenses. So my grocery, my gas for my car, food, fun, miscellaneous, and then drinking water, which is our 5-gallon jugs that we fill up for drinking water. Okay, so once I tallied this up, I ended up, I budgeted $495. We spent a total of $353. So that left us with a rollover amount of $142. So $495 minus $353 equals $142. So I'm going to carry that amount into my budget for the next 2 weeks, and we're going to use that to go towards my games and savings challenges. Okay, so moving into my February monthly view, we are working with this payday, February 7th. So I'm just going to take this little marker, I'm going to highlight here, February 7th, and then out here to the side, I'm going to make a notation that we're paying this with 27. Okay, so with this paycheck, I am going to pay my internet bill of $130, my phone insurance, which is me. Now, these are the only 2 bills that I have before my next payday on February 21st. But since this last week is usually a little more, a little heavier for me because I do have my cell phone bill here and my electric bill, what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to take half of my Verizon bill, roughly. So I'm going to take, my Verizon bill is not due until the next, after I get paid next, because it's due here. But I'm going to take $85 and put it aside so that when I do my budget the next time, I'll only have, what's that, 195 minus 85. I'll only budget 110, so that'll make it a little more manageable for me for the next pay cycle. So I'm not sure how I want to note that. Maybe I'll just put like an underline so that I know part of it is coming out with this color. So this color is for this bill, and part of this bill. Okay, so let me get out my budget worksheet. Make sure you can see it. Let's move this up here a little bit. You still see that? Okay. So my payday is here, February 7th. And I just, oh, you know what I wanted to tell you? I had, when I was doing my, when I was tallying up my totals here, I messed up and I had to use whiteout. I just used like this little tape runner whiteout, but I don't like it. I just don't like the way it looks in my planner. You probably can't tell very much, but I have used before Let me see if I can find one. Hold on one second. I do have these pens. They're like the friction erasable pens, but these are kind of like the knockoff kind. I don't like them. Let me get a little piece of, let me see if I can find something. Hold please. So I don't really like them because of the colors aren't very vibrant. I don't know if you could see that, but this is blue. Obviously it's on, you know what, let me see if I can find a white piece of paper. Okay, scrap piece of paper. So if I scribble like that, the colors aren't very vibrant. They're very light, which is why I don't use these, because they're not very light, but they do erase really nicely. So if you don't like whiteout in your planners, these are an option for you. But be careful, because the reason why they erase is because the ink reacts to like not the friction itself, but the heat that's generated by the friction of you rubbing this little rubber part. There's like heat, you know, when you rub it, and then the heat is what makes the ink disappear. My daughter, the reason I'm telling you guys all this is because my daughter was using my pens, some of these pens, in her, to take notes for school. And she had like a bunch of notes in her spiral notebook. Hold on, let me put these away. Anyways, she had a bunch of notes all in her spiral notebook. And she left her backpack in the car on a hot day, and all of her ink disappeared. She couldn't even, she knew the material. She had it, you know, it was fine. She didn't need it, but she was flipping back through her notebook, and she was noticing a bunch of blank pages, and every now and then there was like an arrow to like a huge blank spot on her page, because the arrow was written in a regular ink, like gel ink or ballpoint ink or whatever. But we were like, where did that go? And then it dawned on me that she was using the erasable pens, and all of the ink disappeared because it got too hot in her car. So just be careful if you're using those pens. But they are a good option if you want to be able to erase. I just don't like it because even the black one that I got was not black. It was like gray, and I needed it to be like a darker black. But anyways, total side note, you guys, sorry about that. I'm kind of a mess. But okay, so where were we? Let's go to February. Let's go back to February. All right, my payday is February 7th, so my pay cycle is going to run from February 7th all the way through the 20th, because then I get paid on the 21st. So it's going to do 2/7 through 2/20. Okay. Alrighty, my income, I worked everything out on my iPad. It's off here to the side, but let's just walk through it, okay? So my income is me, and I am at $17.33. I also have my rollover that I'm going to include, and that was $142. And then I have my this and that. And this is my YouTube and Etsy. Similar to how I give off of my income, off of my my salary income, my 9 to 5 income, my 8 to 5 income. I give off of that. I do like to also give off of the income that I receive from YouTube and or Etsy, and that amount that I am giving is $103. And so that's going to come out, I put it as incoming here under income so that I can put it outgoing here into my giving sinking fund. Okay, so, and the same thing with rollover. I put it incoming here so that I can put it outgoing here into my games and savings challenges. Okay, so my income then totals $1,978. Okay, do you guys want to be zoomed in? Do you care? I've seen people zoom in and then it's like super close, but I don't know. Let me know in the comments if this view is okay for you, or if you want me to zoom you in as I'm writing. Let me know. And then I'll try to remember to do that depending on, you know, where everybody stands with that. Let me know. Okay, so my bills are going to be internet right here. And that's $130. It's going to be phone insurance for me. And that's $4. And it's also going to be Verizon. I'm going to put half Verizon. It's not technically half, but it's a good chunk, and that's going to be $85. So my bills this go around total $219, right? Let's see, 130 plus 4 plus 85 equals $219. So if we take 1978 here and we subtract 219, we are left with 1,759. Okay, I'm going to put this up here a little bit more so we can scooch all of this over. My expenses are usually, I've been keeping them fairly much the same. Fairly the same. I don't know. Pretty much the same. Okay, so groceries is going to get 300. I feel like my desk is shaking a lot. Okay. Fuel is going to get 40. Food fund is going to get 80. We'll do 60 to miscellaneous and then 15 for my drinking water. And that totals $495. Okay, for my games and savings challenges, we're going to do 80 for Mini Mondays and 80 for Faith Fridays. Since I budget bi-weekly, I budget for 2 Mini Mondays and 2 Faith Fridays at $40 each, so that's where that 80 comes from. For my vacation binder, we're going to do $100, and I do that every other week. For my games, I'm going to take out 100, and then I'm also going to include the rollover from up here down here, so I'm just going to put games, and then that's rollover money, and that's $142. Okay, so if I take my total that was left over, $1,759, and I subtract my expenses, $495, oh wait, $1,759 minus $495 equals $1,264. And then if I subtract, let me add all of this up first. So I have 80, 80, 100, 100, and 142. So I have $502. So if I subtract 1,264 minus 502, I am left with $762. Okay, so then we'll move over to our sinking funds page right here. And I'll just put 762 up here so I can remember what I have to work with. All right, my giving is going to be 173 plus this 103 from my this and that. And that's going to total 276. Okay, next holiday is going to get $10. Graduation is going to get 20. And that's for my oldest son. He's graduating college in May. And also my daughter-in-law. I think she is going to be graduating from her master's program in May. So this is for a dinner for them, or if we host a barbecue here, that's what that graduation is for. And then each of my kids is going to get $15. So Jason, Nicholas, and Kayla. Dentist is going to do $10 this time around. Now month ahead is where it's going to get a little different. We're tightening up the budget just a bit, and we're going to give $120 to month ahead. And we were doing $40. Well, we were doing $30, and then when I got to my last two envelopes, I bumped it to $40. So then I was giving $40 to month ahead. Now I'm on my last envelope. So my last envelope for my month ahead is groceries for $600. That was my goal. And I have 1, 2, 3, 400, 450, 470, 480. I have $480. My goal in here was 600. So if I do 600 minus 480, I am left with 120. So we're going to finish, we're going to fully fund this last one, this go around, you guys. So that's why month ahead is so much more than it usually has been in the past, is because I want to finish it. And you guys, we will get to that in a minute. Okay, so month ahead is 120. So this section in this priority section totals $481. All right, moving on to my annual sinking funds. Auto Club is going to get 10. Canva is going to get 5. Costco is going to get 7. Dog Tags is going to get 10. Escrow is going to get 15. Now this is an escrow sinking fund in case my escrow account is short for property taxes or homeowners insurance. So this is my escrow sinking fund. So $15, that's just in case. My P.O. box is going to get 7. My Prime is fully funded. Tahoe tags are going to get 5. Now here's where it was different. In my last budget, actually all of last year's budget, I had a taxes category that I was putting $15 towards per paycheck. Now that was for my tax preparation because we have an accountant who helps us, so that was to pay their fees. So we just had our taxes done, lucky us, and we owe. So you guys, because I needed another thing coming out of my budget. But we owe taxes this year, which I'm going to pull out of my savings account and pay it. But I want to prepare a little bit better for next year. So I have now a tax prep category of $15, and that is going to be for my accountant, for our accountant who helps us, still putting aside money to pay him, $15. And then I also have a taxes category for $20, and that's just going to be a sinking fund that I'm going to save up. My husband is going to give me money from his check as well, and we're just going to try to save up a little bit of money so that we will most likely owe next year, so that will help offset whatever we may owe. Okay, so we have tax prep and taxes. Okay, so tax prep is going to get 15 and taxes is going to get 20. Maybe I should call that like estimated taxes. Well, no, it's not really estimated. It's like a taxes sinking fund. We'll just leave it as taxes. Okay, and then truck tags are going to get 7. So this section is going to total $101. Because we're tightening it so much up here in the month ahead, we're not putting anything to revolving. But I do want to stick with my goals this year. 15 for emergency, 100 for Invisalign, and then 15 for medical. And that totals 130. And these were part of my financial goals. I think I have some things coming, and I think I'm going to make a goals binder so that we can play games while I'm saving. I think that'll make it a little bit more fun. And I do have some things coming for that. So I'm not sure when I'm going to do my goals binder. I have to look at my schedule, my calendar, because I feel like I've been on a pretty good rhythm. And I don't know where I'm going to fit that in. So anyways, stay tuned for that if you're interested. So my sinking funds total 481 plus 101 plus 130, total 712. And again, that's going to be from 207 through, where were we? 27 through 220. $712. So if we go back here into my sinking funds section of 712, So if we subtract $7.62, which was left over after my games, and we minus $7.12 for my sinking funds, we are left with $50. So we will do $50 in a buffer. And then we need to take out $4.95 in cash plus 80 for Mini Mondays, 80 for Faith Fridays, 100 for vacation, and 100 for games. So we need to take out $8.55 for my savings challenges plus $7.12 for my sinking funds. So $1,567. $1,567 in cash. Okay, so I think that is good. I hope I explained it. Hopefully the next budget cycle, we're not going to do month ahead. We're just going to stick with what we have for this year and try to meet these other savings goals that I have. And then, you know, depending on where we stand with this, you know, obviously we may later on this year take a look at things and see if we can adjust or whatever, and start this back up again, but I don't really anticipate it. I will most likely try to meet these goals this year and then bring back a month ahead next year, but we'll see. But for now, it's going to be, I'm going to be fully funded for a month ahead on all of the things that come out of my check. Okay, so I will go ahead and, okay, so I'm just going to stick this here, and that's going to do it. I think that's going to be a good working budget for me, you guys. I'll go ahead and do my cash breakdown off camera, and then we'll do a cash stuffing coming up here shortly. So anyways, that's going to do it for me today, you guys. If you have any questions or comments, go ahead and leave those down below. If you're interested in the budget worksheets, you can check out my Etsy shop, which is also linked down below. And I think I have a few things in my Google Drive. I think I put up this page, and I think I put up like my expense tracker page up there as a freebie in my Google Drive. These budget worksheets are in my Etsy shop. So anyways, that's going to do it for me today, you guys. Thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate you, and I hope you have a great rest of your weekend, and I will see you for my cash stuffing. I think Mini Monday's coming first. But anyways, I'll see you on my next video, you guys. Take care. Bye-bye.